Hello there, you're watching the news at 8. I'm Maha Siddiqui. First up, the headlines. Continued sloganeering and several adjournments in Parliament. Dressed in black, opposition continues to press the government for a discussion on Manipur. No word yet from the Speaker's office on the date of vote on the no confidence motion. Weeks after the viral video from Manipur sent shock waves across the country, the matter has been handed over to the CBI. In Nagaland, a shocking arrest related to Manipur. A senior cop is accused of stealing ammunition from the police armory for sending it to Manipur. Political temperatures in Rajasthan turn red hot. Prime Minister Modi, on his 6th visit to the poll-bound state this year, refers to a red diary to allege corruption against Gehlot. Gehlot rubbishes the allegations. Telangana is battered by unprecedented rains. 85 tourists trapped in a waterfall in Mugulu rescued by the NDRF. Actor Kevin Spacey acquitted of sexual assault charges by a London jury. The prosecution had earlier called him a sexual bully in a trial that lasted 4 weeks. The Manipur viral video case of the sexual assault against 2 women has been handed over to the CBI. Days after the video sent shockwaves across the country, the decision has been taken to refer the matter to the Central Investigation Agency. Let me go across to Megha for more details on this. Megha, first of all, give us any details, if they are available at the moment, on the ambit of the investigation, and does this give the government a point to make on the floor of the House as it prepares to face the opposition in a no-confidence motion?
Well, as far as the Parliament is concerned, Maha, I really don't think, that this is going to change much in terms of the demand of the opposition. Their demand really wasn't about the investigation. Their demand is very political in nature, which is about, get the Prime Minister to the floor of the House and make him give a statement on Manipur. So I don't think these decisions are going to make much of a difference as far as the running of the functioning of the Parliament is concerned. But what we are breaking at this moment, the two very important piece of information that needs to be put out. One, of course, is that the government's made up its mind to refer the horror video, that went viral of 2 tribal women being paraded naked. That is to be given to the CBI. And when you ask about the ambit, the entire of the case is going to be with them. But at this moment, it's only about this particular case. Will the government, in the past, I think they have already referred about 6 such cases to the CBI. This is going to be the 7th case that is to be referred to the CBI from Manipur. So that, of course, gives CBI a whole lot of space to do the investigation into what's been happening in terms of the violence there in the last 3 months. And the second decision, which is also extremely important, is that the government has decided that as far as the trial of this particular case is concerned, that trial will not be conducted in Manipur. That trial, that case will be tried outside Manipur. So that for that, the government, the centre, has already prepared an affidavit which is to be submitted to the Supreme Court with the same plea that this particular case be tried outside Manipur and not in the state. So these two things, keeping in mind, of course, what's been going on. But Maha, let me quickly add here, the most important bit of information is that the government has already held 6 rounds of meeting with the Cookies and 6 rounds of meeting with the Meithis. These 12 rounds of meetings with the centre representative, from the centre, that has been held in many of these meetings. Mr. Amit Shah himself has been there, and the government now says that they are very, very hopeful that soon enough they will have both the sides sit together across the table with the government there mediating, and perhaps a solution to the entire problem that's been going on in the state will be found soon.
Megha Prasad getting us all those details there. The most important that at the moment, the case of the viral video from Manipur that had sent shockwaves across the country, has been referred to the CBI. Let's move on now. Still with the same story and the manner in which it is playing up in Parliament. Well, political battle lines have been drawn sharply in both houses of Parliament, with the opposition India continuing to attack the government over the violence in Manipur. Amid sloganeering, both houses of Parliament saw repeated adjournments, but the government continued to conduct business through the chaos. Meanwhile, there is still no word on when the vote on the Congress-moved adjournment motion will take place. Let's listen in to all the reactions emerging from Parliament today.
समझ नहीं पा रहे कि देश की बढ़ती हुई ताकत आज क्या है। जिनके मन में काला है, जिनके तन में भी आज काला है, क्या छुपा है इनके दिल में? क्या दिल में काला है? क्या शब्दों के बोल में काला है? क्या काला धन छुपा रहे हैं ये अपने इन कपड़ों में? क्या कारनामे हैं इनके जो दिखाना नहीं चाहते और छुपाना चाहते हैं?
उनके कपड़े ही काले नहीं है, उनकी नीयत भी काली है, उनका चेहरा भी काला है। वो किसी भी सार्थक चर्चा के लिए तैयार नहीं है। और अविश्वास प्रस्ताव आप ला रहे हैं, आपको विश्वास हो ना हो, देश की जनता को विश्वास है।
रूलिंग पार्टी एमपीज दे स्टूड एंड शाउटिंग हिंदुस्तान वर्सेस व्हाट इज
पहले भी तो होता था।
पहले भी होता था ना। रूलिंग पार्टी कभी नहीं करती, क्योंकि they blame us always, opposition गड़बड़ कर रही है, सुनना नहीं चाहती।
You can certainly talk about other states if you want to, but the other states have not had any of these situations, nor have they had a situation where an IPS officer resigns about the drug trade.
Now when a no confidence motion has been accepted by the Honorable Speaker, and my party has also supported the no confidence motion. Of course, now the whole gambit, the whole area is open now. It will not be only limited to Manipur.
Now, in a shocking case, 70 days after the violence began in Manipur, the Nagaland police have arrested a police inspector accused of stealing ammunition from the armory of the Nagaland police and transferring it to the people in Manipur. The police are looking into how this ammunition was allegedly stolen and later on sold to people engaged in active gun battles in Manipur. Ratnadeep Chaudhary reports.
This man, an inspector in the Nagaland police, is at the center of investigation by the police, who believe he stole and sold ammunition to people in Manipur. Police sources have told NDTV that 6 people, including the inspector, 4 civilians, including 2 from Manipur, and a local gun runner, have been arrested. They are accused of stealing thousands of rounds of ammunition to be used in INSAS automatic rifles and in self-loading rifles. The ammunition was being stolen from a central store in Chumukedima. The police inspector, identified as Michael Yangthang, was allegedly paid rupees 4.25 lakhs to acquire the ammunition.
The inspector was only acting in his personal capacity. We have not found any angle of any conspiracy or any wrongdoing by any other person. He was in charge of the store and he just stole the ammunition from there without anyone knowing it, and investigations revealed that he was actually being foolish and greedy because he had stolen the ammunition and he was planning to show it used against the next classification firing which would have taken place. It was an absolute foolish act on his part. After the Manipur police swung into action, we were all supervising the operation. We monitored it very closely. We've established the money trail.
According to highly placed sources in Nagaland police, the cops got a tip-off and an operation was launched on 9th of July. The very next day, they were able to apprehend 2 people in a vehicle which had an Assam number plate and seize 2,500 rounds of live ammunitions of automatic weapons which were put in 3 different sacks, and then in further investigation they were able to arrest a lady who was involved. She led them to a leader of a rebel group who further led them to a middleman, and finally they were able to arrest the main person, their very own, the inspector who was posted in the central armory and who has done the theft. This is not the first time that this has happened. 10 years back, an NDTV investigation revealed how parts of Nagaland, particularly Dimapur, had been a hub of illegal weapon sales and supplied across the northeast. In Guwahati, Ratndeep Chaudhary for NDTV.
It's code red in battleground Rajasthan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi set the ball rolling for elections in the state just 4 months away.
आपने लाल डायरी के बारे में सुना है ना? सुना है ना?
In a rally in Sikar, he called upon the Congress to reveal what was in the red diary that had caused so much commotion in the State Assembly on Monday.
लोग कह रहे हैं कि लाल डायरी के पन्ने खुले तो अच्छे अच्छे निपट जाएंगे। कांग्रेस के बड़े से बड़े नेताओं की इस लाल डायरी का नाम सुनते ही बोलती बंद हो रही है।
वसूली के कारण के संबंध में सरकार का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहता है।
On Monday, ex-Congress minister and MLA Rajendra Gouda had walked into the assembly threatening to expose the chief minister with a red diary in hand, which he said had details of payoffs made by the Congress in Rajasthan to help them clear Rajya Sabha elections and save the government during Sachin Pilot's rebellion. But the chief minister hit back on code red.
असली लूट तो आपने लाल सिलेंडर को 11,500 रुपये का करके मचा रखी है। लूट मचा रखी उन्होंने लाल सिलेंडर को। सिलेंडर का रंग लाल है, वो डायरी का रंग लाल बता रहे, मैं बता रहा हूँ असली तो ये है आपके सामने। मैंने सुना लाल टमाटर जो है वो 150 किलो रुपये हो गया है। लूट उन्होंने मचा रखी है, वो लाल टमाटर है। चुनाव आ रहे इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी को जनता आज सिग्नल दे चुकी है। सीकर के अंदर तो जनता समझ गई है और आने वाले वक्त में उनको लाल झंडी दिखा दी जाएगी।
On the day of the PM's visit, the chief minister tweeted early in the morning that his speech at a program for farmers and to launch schools and medical colleges had been axed. The PMO responded by saying the CM can't join a prime minister's program through video conferencing. It's not according to protocol.
घन अनमोल रतन निपुजावे वाह भाई शेखावटी।
But it's not so much about protocol as it's about the battle for Jat votes in this region. Sikar, from where the Prime Minister launched his farmers' outreach, is Jat heartland. Dominated by the Jats, a farmer community who are politically decisive in any election. In the last assembly election of the 8 seats here, the BJP did not get even one. And this was also a launch of the BJP's election campaign, with the PM setting the tone and tenor for it.
बहन बेटियों पर अत्याचार नहीं सहेगा राजस्थान। दलित पर अत्याचार, दलित पर अत्याचार, कर्ज से मरता किसान, कर्ज से मरता किसान अपराध बेलगाम नहीं सहेगा। अपराध बेलगाम नहीं सहेगा राजस्थान।
In September, the BJP will begin in Rajasthan a yatra for change along these very lines. And with no CM face yet for the BJP, it's going to be an Ashok Gehlot versus Prime Minister Narendra Modi in this election in Rajasthan.
एक ही नारा है।
In Jaipur, Harsha Kumari Singh, NDTV.
जीतेगा कमल, खिलेगा।
Crisscrossing to Telangana, which is being battered by what the Chief Minister has described as historic and unprecedented rains. Ministers, police and administration officials are working round the clock to minimize the loss of life. Uma Sudhir with a roundup of the ground situation.
Incessant rains over the last 3 days and unprecedented downpour in several areas left Telangana battered, with water body and road breaches that caused flooding in several districts. Chityala in Jaishankar Bhopalpalli district and Venkatapuram in Mulugu received over 65 centimeter rains in 24 hours, wreaking havoc. Vehicles were stranded on the road. This visual from inside a truck that is filled with water. Here, passengers on a Armoor Nirmal bus being rescued. At least 85 tourists who trekked to Madhyaladara waterfalls in Mulugu were trapped in the forest, and overnight the NDRF was called to rescue them to safety.
మరి అనవసరంగా బయటికి వెళ్ళడం, గోదావరి ప్రాంతం వైపు రావడం, ఎక్కడైతే నీటి ప్రవాహం ఉన్న దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి మరి అవసరం లేకున్నా మరి వెళ్ళడం అనేటువంటి ఇవన్నీ కూడా మానేయాలి. ఎందుకంటే ప్రమాదవశాత్తు ఎవరికైనా ఏ సంఘటన జరగద్దని మనం కోరుకుంటా ఉన్నాం. దీన్ని తప్పకుండా ప్రజలు పాటించాలని కోరుకుంటున్నాం. వారికి
3 people were washed away as Moranchapalli village in Warangal got submerged. People climbed buildings to stay safe. 300 people have been brought to safety. Seethamma and her daughter were part of a group wading through furious waters in Bhadradri Kottagudam when the mother-daughter duo was washed away by the strong currents. Only the daughter could be rescued. 10 workers were stranded in a sand quarry in Pedapalli. Thankfully, rescue teams were able to reach and save them.
నిన్న రాత్రి 2 గంటల నుంచి 4 గంటల మధ్యలో దాదాపు 600 మిల్లీమీటర్ల వర్షపాతం నమోదైంది ఒక రేగొండ భూపాల్పల్లి జిల్లాలో. దానితో మోరంచపల్లి అనే గ్రామం నీట మునిగి ఉంది. పైన కొన్ని చెరువులు అలుగులు పడటం, చెరువులు తెగిపోవడం ద్వారా వరద నీరు వచ్చి ముగ్గురు కొట్టుకొని పోవడం జరిగింది.
At Bhadrachalam, the Godavari water level was precariously threatening to breach the 3rd warning level. More rain is expected tomorrow as well, so people have been asked to stay indoors. Schools and colleges will stay closed tomorrow too. Hyderabad is facing continuous onslaught of rain, and Hussain Sagar, Himayat Sagar, Usman Sagar bodies are all full, so is the Musi. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Well, as the IMF calls on India to remove the rice export ban, my colleague Sakshi Bajaj explains why India has taken the measure. This crucially at a time when prices have surged to a 3-year high in Asia. The Indian government banned the export of non-basmati white rice on the 20th of July to boost domestic supply and keep retail prices under check.
Rice prices in Asia are at the highest level in 3 years after India, the world's biggest rice exporter, banned non-basmati rice exports. Thai 5% broken white rice, an Asian benchmark, soared to $572 a ton, hit the most expensive level since April 2020, according to the Thai Rice Exporters Association. This is a 7% spike in prices in just 2 weeks. Now, for those wondering why has the government banned the export of non-basmati rice, well, according to the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, in a statement, in order to ensure adequate availability of non-basmati white rice in the Indian market and of course to allay the price rise fears in the domestic market, the government of India has amended the export policy, which earlier said, of course, export duty of 20% to prohibited with immediate effect altogether. So first, what is the impact of the ban of non-basmati rice exports in India? Now, experts believe this will boost domestic supply and help control price rise. Remember, as per the government statement, domestic prices of rice really are increasing on a retail trend, of course, with the retail prices rising 11.5% over a year and 3% over the past month. While India's notification added that some export would be allowed with the union government's permission in order to meet the food security needs of other countries, the impact can be seen abroad in the form of rice hoarding, panic buying, along with some grocery stores even limiting rice purchases altogether. So why then is India so crucial to the global rice trade? India accounts for more than 40% of global rice exports. India's rice shipments in 2022, remember, were more than the combined shipments of Thailand, Vietnam, Pakistan and the US, the next 4 big exporters of the grain. And remember, over 140 countries are net importers of India's non-basmati rice. The rice rush, quite literally. Believe it or not, these visuals are from the developed world that imports non-basmati rice from India after the government decided to ban non-basmati rice exports to boost domestic supply and help control price rise of the grain.
I went almost 10 plus shops to get one bag of Sona Masuri rice, okay? So I traveled all the way. Morning I started 9 a.m. searching each and every shop. I ended today, what is the time now? It's 4 p.m. I got one bag with triple price, $34. Used to be only 17 or 18.
The United States is currently the largest rice importing country in the Western Hemisphere, currently importing around 1.3 million tons. Now experts believe rice is vital to the diet of billions in Asia and Africa, and a surge in prices would add to inflationary pressures and jack up import bills for buyers.
Rising fertilizer prices and El Nino are pushing rice prices higher to 11-year highs, and inventories are approaching 6-year lows. Now this is likely to impact 3 billion people in Asia with food price inflation, and these people depend on rice as their staple diet.
With numerous stores putting up notices stating only one rice bag per family to manage the situation and ensure fair distribution, after concerns on hoarding also rose. Remember, the International Monetary Fund has said it would encourage India to remove restrictions on export of a certain category of rice, which would have an impact on global inflation. Sakshi Bajaj for NDTV.
Let's move on now. The BCCI is yet to take a call on a possible change in the dates for the India-Pakistan ODI World Cup schedule. The Board of Control for Cricket in India's Secretary, Jay Shah, called a meeting with the state associations today. Osama Shah has more details.
In the BCCI meeting that went on for more than 3.5 hours at Taj Palace in Delhi, there were a lot of things discussed regarding the upcoming ICC ODI World Cup. The big question on everyone's mind was the India versus Pakistan clash and what happens to that particular match. Will that match be preponed? Will that match remain on the same date? As of now, there are no certain answers as to what happens to that match. The match is scheduled to happen on the 15th of October, but he did mention that 3 full ICC members have requested ICC for change in dates, and they have cited anomaly in the gap of these matches. Some of these matches are happening at a gap of more than 5 to 6 days. Some of these matches are happening at a gap of 2 to 3 days, and that is what these board members, these 3 full members of the ICC have shown their concern about. Regarding the India versus Pakistan game, no changes in the dates of that particular clash, which is set to happen on the 15th of October. He did mention that there are the schedule is going to be changed. There are changes expected, and that answer, the fans will get that answer in the next coming 2-3 days. Apart from this particular point, he also said that he talked to all the state associations, state members, regarding the preparation of the ICC ODI World Cup, which also talked about housekeeping, cleanliness and hygiene inside the stadium. The most important thing that was discussed was the issue of toilets inside the stadium, because a lot of fans have been complaining about the lack of toilets inside the stadium, and that is what has been talked about, and that is something that BCCI is considering. They are trying to figure out the solution for that. Another thing that fans are concerned with is the lack of water inside the stadium, to which he said, Jasha said that he is tying up with Coca-Cola and that complimentary water is going to be provided inside the stadium. Apart from all of this, he also did mention about Jasprit Bumrah. He said that Jasprit Bumrah is fully fit and he is going to make his comeback in the upcoming Ireland tour. With camera person Sushil Rathi, Osama Shah for NDTV.
Hollywood actor Kevin Spacey wept in court as he was acquitted in the sexual assault trial that went on for 4 weeks in London. The jury declared him not guilty for sexual offence charges relating to 4 men between 2001 and 2013. Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey said that he was grateful to the jury as he thanked them for their deliberations, which took more than 12 hours. Now, outside the court, he said he was humbled. This as the prosecution had termed him a sexual bully during the trial.
I imagine that many of you can understand that there's a lot for me to process. after what has just happened today. But I would like to say that I'm enormously grateful to the jury for having taken the time to examine all of the evidence and all of the facts carefully before they reach their decision. And I am humbled by the outcome today.